I'm a huge supporter of the military. You know that by now if you've tuned in to any of my radio shows. We're obviously in a military town, and the best, I mean the best when it comes to mixing military and real estate and the opportunities that exist within it is our good friend John Reeves. He hosts a radio show on 1170 AM KCBQ at 7 o'clock on Mondays. We call it Military Mondays. Here you can see him ripping the mic right now, and we got him in here. He's a busy guy, tough to connect with sometimes because he's a mover and shaker, but always good to have you in here, John Reeves. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. So
you went to the Poinsettia Bowl.
We did. We saw Navy in the Poinsettia Bowl come out on the 23rd. Great win against the San Diego State Aztecs.
What a great bowl game. To put a military town against SDSU, I'm sure there's someone behind that connecting those dots. I don't know how bowl games work. But what an awesome event for San Diego.
Well, actually, Navy sold more tickets. They sold their entire ticket block out. All the ticket block that was assigned to the Naval Academy was sold. SDSU did not sell all theirs, and it's a local school. So it's something to be said about how many naval personnel and naval alumni, people who've been in the Navy and veterans right here in the city. So
it's important that everybody realizes that Reef Point Realty, you guys are the top team. I think nationally you're probably in the top 1% as well, but certainly San Diego, there's not anyone else you go to for financing VA, go to Reef Point Real Estate. If you're looking to buy or sell, you go to Reef Point Real Estate. If you've served our military, there's just not another team that you look to, period, end of story. But you do have a radio show as well. So you're taking all this insight you have on VA, military,
yes,
and the opportunities, and you're broadcasting it to thousands of people on KCBQ. You started the show halfway through last year. Tell us about what you have coming up in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, this year our real goal is like you, to educate and empower our veterans out there. There's so many available items out there for our military members: VA loans, streamlined refis, property management. You buy a house, you move away. We talked about the millionaire next door, the military millionaire next door. There's so many opportunities out there for the military. There's so many military serving organizations when people are transitioning out, when people are deciding to make a career change, people need help, they need somewhere to go, and we are becoming that conduit for information, education, empowerment out to military veterans.
I want to drive people to learn more about your show,
the
radio
show.
That removes me. I get out of the equation, and John hosts the show. It's military-mondays.com. Check out the website, and again, you can tune in on KCBQ 1170 AM on Mondays at 7 p.m. So there's always things moving around with the opportunities in VA. Now, at the baseline, 100% financing, no mortgage insurance, a lot of opportunities. What else should we look for coming up this year if you've served? Speak to the buyer first,
I think
then maybe the seller.
The best thing about the buyer right now is that you have a VA loan increase for San Diego County. The zero down limit increased to $562,350, so substantial increase there. And of course, like JJ said earlier, we've got some of the lowest interest rates we've had in the last 18, 19 months. So it's a great opportunity for veterans, especially during this time of the year. There's a little bit more inventory out there, and the prices are going a little bit lower. So we're seeing days on market increase.
There's really a key takeaway here, and it's coming off of some of the information that JJ just provided. Now, his whole team has served. John has served. Everybody on Reef Point Realty has served. But he also, the extension of all the things he does, mortgage, tax planning, estate planning, all of his extensions of his business have served as well. It's really a unique model. One thing that's so important for you to know, if you own a home and you've served, there's what's called an IRRRL.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you don't do mortgages, but you guys do.
Oh, yeah.
Do, right?
Dan Lehman, who's a veteran himself, a Marine veteran right over at Synergy One.
Right. So what people need to know about that is you can refinance without going through the process of refinancing. It literally is lock you into a lower rate. It takes a few days to do. The paperwork is simple. And you basically keep your loan and just refinance. No appraisals. It's so simple. And if you've served and you have that VA loan, you can do it.
And we're seeing cash out VA. We're seeing some people take cash out of their VA loans.
Well, you can do that too. If you want to do a real refinance and take advantage of low rates, do some cash out, that makes sense too, yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a few veterans who decide, I want to maybe upgrade the property, put some equity back into it by upgrading it, doing some renovations. So
in the past, you've talked about the opportunity for the VA investor. Right? A lot of people don't know about that. Explain how you can leverage
Craig, that's one of my favorite things to talk about, is because you got a young Marine, young sailor, they can come in and buy a multi-unit property, 2, 3, or 4 units, live in one, rent out the other 2, 3, or 4, or 2, 3, or 4, and now you have a property that is paying their mortgage to live in. They're being paid to live in a property. They're making money every month.
I'm going to ask you a pretty direct question. I've never asked you this one before. We talk about real estate. We have all show. conventional, putting money down, refinances. There is nobody who has a better opportunity to buy, sell, refinance than someone with VA because of the benefits that they have. And we could get into benefits. We're running out of time here. But what do you think keeps those who have served from rolling into that 100% financing, moving that rent into a mortgage, building that equity? What stops them? Because there's not a better opportunity in anything, in any market, in any investment, in the stock market. There's nothing better than what you can leverage in VA.
I think the first thing is just the fact that they're not educated and they don't know what their benefit is. I think that's the number one. And those that do and decide not to use it, it's because of the fear that, well, what if I move away? What if I
deployed or
well,
job,
you know, you come to San Diego, you do your 3, 4, 5 years, and then you have to move to Virginia. You move to Florida or Texas. You know, people are afraid of, well, what happens to my house? What if I can't sell it? Well, it's easy. Then you manage it. You have the same team that helped you buy it will manage the property for you.
And you got a management team?
And we have a management team that does that. So
done.
Great opportunity, and the VA loan is something that it does need to be propagated more. More people need to know about it.
I couldn't agree more. I'm a huge advocate for it, and it's just something our government gets right? The VA financing and the opportunities. And John carries the flag. Not only is he served, but he is truly one of the best in the business, and he's niched specifically to VA. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, you bet, Greg.
And 2015 is going to be a fun year. We got a TV show coming out, your radio show. So John Reeves, it's reefpointrealestate.com if you want to connect with John. There it is right there on your screen. If you've served, even if you don't need anything today, do me a favor, bookmark that website because you're going to need it at some point in time, and there's just nobody else that you go to. So, John, good, strong finish to our first show of the year. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg.